Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Space Age semi-streamlined playthrough let's play of Factorio Space Age. We're building the mega base on Malvis, 10,000 science per minute, raw. I don't know what effective science that ends up being, but we'll see. Once again I'm a bit behind, so apologies if you're watching this very soon after the upload. 1440p 60 FPS will be available shortly. If you'd like to do the odd like, comment, subscribe for me, and we'll jump straight into it, shall we? Okay, the last thing we did was legendary science packs on Vulcanus to the tune of 1980 per minute, which is a bit more than what we need. Obviously a legendary science pack has the equivalent of 6 science packs inside it. So this is a bit more than the 10,000, but that's 4 machines. 3 machines would not be enough, so just times this by 6. Yeah, 3 machines would not be enough. So, and then this caused a huge issue with the throughput of, because all of the legendary copper and steel that we were getting was coming from the LDS shuffle, which I'd only set up once at the very beginning to try and work out the best way to get it to work, and then never changed it. So we need to change this. I don't know how long this episode will be. Going into it, eggs are hatching, because I've played a lot in between these the episodes, but a lot of it was testing and issues like that, and I didn't like making individual save for each version of the LDS shuffle because who wants to see that? I'll just show you what I've ended up with after a lot of throughput testing, and it's not pretty, I have to say. Please just give us big storage containers, Woob, please. This mild flashing images warning, by the way, before I turn Alt mode on. Mild flashing images warning. Maybe that should have been a severe flashing images warning, sorry. Severe flashing images warning. Please just give us bigger storage containers so we don't have to do stuff like this. I desperately need legendary stack inserters, like desperately. So this throughput is very good. Of course, this makes a lot of copper and a lot of well, it doesn't make a lot of steel, but steel is bottlenecked by the fact that we can't get the copper out of the train wagon fast enough. Direct insertion into the cargo wagons, limit the cargo wagon space for various things, so that at least you've always got room for stuff, because that was the main problem with the old design, is that, yeah, I suppose you could I mean, you could maybe go a bit further than this, right? You could filter another inserter into a recycler that was just trashing the copper, but it seems silly if you're trying to get rid of it to just, you know, you've got lava here on Vulcanus. It's like a energy-free recycler, a no-cycler. So that's fine. That's fine. Plastic, I've decided plastic as a closed system is okay. It shouldn't ever, the RNG shouldn't ever get to the point that we just dry up on plastic, but we can keep an eye on it. It's easily fixed if so. Get rid of that. And then just some simple stack inserters here, just consolidating things down, just to keep some space on the belt, you know? Just to keep a little bit of space on the belt. So this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. The molten iron and copper is coming from over here. The stone is being turned into stone bricks and then being thrown into the lava. I could make landfill out of it and recycle the landfill, or I could make landfill and put the landfill in the lava, but like, what is the point of that, right? Like, why spend energy to just put something in the lava when the inserters have cost less energy than the assembler itself? Probably, maybe. Anyway, I haven't actually run the numbers on that. And yeah, loads of bricks, like absolutely loads of bricks coming out of this. So that's why Vulcanus is paved with a lot of bricks now. one thing I did notice is that I've got Alt scroll wheel bound to increasing and decreasing the size of this. If you're in player view, you can't go any bigger than this. If you're in map view, you can do this. You can go all the way this big for some reason. Like, I don't really know why there's a distinction there between those two things. Like, but still, it's satisfying, right? 500 robos putting all the bricks down. I got this real problem whereby I refuse to just, like, if I put it down by hand, then I can only put it down in this radius, whereas if I use robots, it's costing me energy and time to do this, and UPS, but it's just so goddamn satisfying. Look at that. Anyway, yeah, so that should be everything sorted. It should be, for a little bit at least. This is, if this is working full tilt, this is making 48 steel a second, which is not even enough to fill the rail assembler, but the rail assembler is also overproducing by 5 rails a second, but 5 rails is only 2 steel plates, 2.5 steel plates, so we may need to do something about this, but at the same time it is more scalable now, right? Like, now that we know that this sort of works, adding an extra set of this, you know, and adding more. I should have added another set of beacons on here, because clearly this isn't even enough. Legendary inserters with legendary speed modules inside being buffed by legendary beacons with the legendary speed modules. Still can't keep up with all these LDS. So we're kind of just hoping that it's alright for now. Stone, legendary stone is currently the bottleneck. That is because the legendary... Where are we getting legendary stone from? Legendary calcite, that's right. We need to increase the legendary calcite ship. I thought we'd done this already. Did we not do this already? Maybe I spoke about it but didn't do it. Can't remember. So we need more legendary calcite for sure. But yeah, this took me a long time to get this all throughput sorted. But now that we've got it sorted, I've also built another little battery of rocket launchers here. Rockets are so cheap at the moment, like 200% productivity. It's ridiculous. They're ridiculously cheap. Okay. Can't remember what's next, sorry. It is the bigger calcite ship. The bigger calcite ship is the next thing on the list. This has a small problem in that you can only get calcite if you also get... This needs fixing for sure. If you also then get legendary ice. I've done the lazy man option here at the moment of just circuit condition, get rid of ice. Obviously that doesn't make a huge amount of sense to send it down to Vulcanus and then throw it in the lava. You may as well just yeet it into space, but because I would have to, you know, I've just copy and pasted this design from the other wide boy ships, which are working very well for the most part. From the other wide boy ships, I haven't bothered putting like a throwaway bit in, which I could do, but you know, I'm lazy, I'm very lazy. I also added the big fusion plant from the last episode, the 4 reactor thing. Just because I went through, you know, and iron is now fine. Iron was a bit of a problem for a while, but maybe it was the iron one we did. Hey, someone's delivered me a tea, thank you so much. Iron is now fine. Yeah, stone is a bottleneck from the calcite, but we did make it an absolutely huge amount of legendary purple science here. Silly. Silly. So yeah, we'll get the calcite ship done. That should improve the output of legendary stone. This can, in theory, output 302 legendary stone a second, which is a huge amount for 8 calcite a second. So what we're currently just banking on this working very fast for a little bit, and then having... That's very silly. and then having a backlog of legendary, because like this is a lot. This is 24,000 legendary production science times 6. What's that? 150,000. That's silly. That's silly. So yes, okay. So I'm happy to leave Vulcanus like this for a bit. This is all working. I think I do before I leave just tidy this up slightly, just to get the steel throughput sorted. But it is fine. And actually throw the copper away in 2 places. Yeah. So I prioritise sending it to the boxes first. Then anything extra from the boxes goes in the lava, and then that meets the steel one. This will take a lot longer to fill up. And it won't be very balanced until it is full. But it will get full, just very, very slowly compared to the copper. Why am I keeping this much copper? I don't know. Alright, let's go back to Nalvis then, now that we've got this sorted, and that is what? That is the first 4 science packs, barring military science. So we can make some real progress. I got really, really super distracted as well this week with legendary uranium. How do you get legendary uranium? Because we're going to want it for the biolabs, right? A legendary biolab is very fast. The amount of biolabs we would need to process 10,000 science packs per minute is quite a lot. So we may as well make legendary ones. You can't upcycle them because they recycle into themselves. Most things that have uranium in recycle into themselves. The only thing that doesn't is nuclear fuel recycling, which, no thanks. Atomic bombs. Yeah, now we're talking. 100 uranium-235. So I spent a long time... First I changed the Covarex process. Legendary cryolabs? Legendary centrifuges are really irritating. They have a rocket capacity of 1 for some reason. So then you're like, oh, okay, I'll just ship the steel, the iron gear wheels, the advanced circuits, and the concrete. Legendary concrete, rocket capacity 100. So it's actually more efficient to ship centrifuges than it is to ship the ingredients for centrifuges, which is irritating. So on Vulcanus is all good now. As you can see, the stone is backed up. Yeah, I did tidy this bit up, so this is a bit better. So this is actually making 100 and... oh no, 60... How is that less? How is that less? 65 steel. Something's gone wrong here. Could have sworn that number was higher when I checked that before. No, it's just me being silly. Once we get a legendary stack inserters, we should also solve this problem, but that is something I really can't be bothered to deal with right now because we need legendary jelly and carbon fiber. Blah. Anyway, I'm getting distracted about the distraction. I did have uranium recycling happening here for a little bit to see if that was more effective. Just recycle the uranium and then process that. It's obviously not. Like, I don't know why I thought it would be, because not only do you have to upcycle the uranium, you then have to get a chance to get the 235 when you process it. So you process 10 uranium ore, and then 0.7% of the time you get uranium 235. That was very silly of me. So this is the Covarex setup. It's in the book, Mark II. I'm consolidating the books now. Now that the blueprints are getting few and far between, I'm consolidating the books down. Yeah, so this is under Mark II Covarex. This nets you 3.475 uranium 235 a second, which is pretty good, which is pretty okay. You know, that's a lot of uranium going into the system, I suppose. Excess 235 is just gotten rid of because you don't need it at all. Doesn't do anything if you don't care about using uranium ammo, which of course we don't. I suppose we need it for uranium fuel cells, but uranium fuel cells only go in nuclear reactors. You don't need them for... I'm sure at one point you needed these for trains, right? Or am I thinking of... I might be thinking of Factorio, that nuclear trains just took uranium fuel cells. So yeah, we don't need the uranium, basically, as far as I can tell. And even if we do, it's very easy to get a whole bunch. We're also upcycling the excess uranium from the nuclear fuel process over here. Because of course once we get some legendary uranium-235 we can Covarex the 238 to get an influx as well. And then we are upcycling atomic bombs. I don't know why I'm producing legendary atomic bombs with the legendary uranium. I think I was just... I've been in the habit recently of when I do my upcycling to produce the item as well, because I think I might need it. So like the legendary EM plants on Folgora, for example, I actually do want those as well. So I am just making them rather than keeping any legendary holmium that comes out. I am just making these because that really is the only thing I want the legendary holmium for at the moment. I don't need legendary superconductors or supercapacitors really right now. These go into quality modules, but we've kind of over that point now. So yeah, so this is a mistake. That can go. And then recycling the... Oh my god, I've got a rocket launcher equipped on me. That's a recipe for disaster. Recycling these legendary atomic bombs, of course, gives you the legendary uranium. I overscaled this to begin with, because I thought, I've got loads of uranium-235, haven't I? Got loads of it from all that Covarex I've been doing. It turns out this is very, very hungry on uranium. So I've pared this back quite considerably. Forgot to get rid of these. I've pared this back quite considerably. So we've got the legendary uranium now. Again, this was a very large side quest for me. I changed the mining on here just to, you know, tidy it up a bit, put the green belts down. This was an well, not an unnecessary tangent, but a tangent that took me longer than I thought it would, because I wanted to think about both legendary biolabs and legendary captive biter spawners. I decided that legendary captive biter spawners were not really worth the effort of for the legendary oops, 15 uranium, 10 biter eggs. I mean, like, you could. But for now the focus is just going to be getting legendary biolabs, and if we want more eggs we'll just copy and paste this. Which I did do. I'm going to go with this design for the labs, the science pack processing. There are, of course, 12 science packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, just double checking that. So 6 side-loaded belts will do you. A legendary... This is a legendary biolab. I did at least make one for the demonstration. With 10 speed beacons around it. A research speed of 352 with 400% productivity. Will still only process 2.9 packs a second. So we are going to need even legendary ones to process the 10,000 that we're making. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. 57. 58 just to be sure. So I'm using red belts because I do not want to spend that much in green belts on this. Red belts should suffice. What did we just say? 58. It won't quite suffice, but we can do something about that from the unloading on the trains. We'll like split it into 2 sections or something, maybe. Something like that. We'll deal with it. But anyway, so they're going to come in via rails. Thanks. I've done a very simple, which probably will end up not working, train unloader thing here. Oh, I always forget to change the... I don't know why I bother making parameterized blueprints if I'm not going to use them, and then have to just go through and manually change everything anyway. You know, like had to do this, and then had to change the station name, and had to change this combinator, and have to change this combinator. Like that. This is in the. Well, actually, an unloading one isn't in the. No, the unloading one is in the parameterized blueprint book. It's just not the same design because you don't need it to be, you know, the full green belt of output one. But thankfully, you can use the pipette tool here and sort that out. I don't know why I'm doing this on camera, what a waste of time. So yeah, so this will eventually bring the science in. Science from Vulcanus will do the same thing that the calcite does. We just ask for it from space and then move it from the cargo landing pad over here, and then once we're satisfied that the cargo... The problem is the cargo landing pad you can only have one. So eventually, we'll have to put the cargo landing pad somewhere over here with a train unloading thing. That takes the stuff that we need for science to the labs, but then also takes the other stuff that we're asking for, like the bioflux, the carbon fibre, to the mall. Also, we're making quality... we're making legendary quality prod modules over at the mall at the moment, and we need the stuff for that. But that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, we're going to need a lot of legendary labs, and for that we're going to need the uranium, the legendary uranium, and we're going to need more eggs. We're definitely going to need more eggs. I thought that you could move these captive biter spawners. I don't know why I thought that. It's pretty clear that you can't. Once they're there, they're just there. So I started by like going, alright, we'll tear it down and we'll just move them, or we'll kill them and we'll build a bigger section somewhere. Because my initial thought was that this is overkill on the legendary recyclers. It's actually not. Eggs are not that quick to recycle. And this makes 14 eggs a second. And you can only recycle 1.6 eggs a second in the recycler, so you do need, well, maybe 20 is overkill, but once I realised that I couldn't just repurpose this, and they were all high quality, and I couldn't be bothered to get high quality new ones, like I tried for a bit, you know, I was like, screw it, you know what, just screw the whole thing, whatever. I mean, I wish I'd have done it this way. I wasn't smart enough to do it this way. I bloody copied this top one to the above it and below it, didn't I? Like an idiot. But and then, of course, they're all different qualities in that as well. So we need to take these ones and put these down now that we've not got any extra quality ones. So this will at least help getting more eggs faster. This will double our egg speed because we need them. Thankfully, you only need one. No, that's not true. You need 10. You only need one for this. So this is quite efficient. This is very not efficient at all. Refined concrete we're getting from Vulcanus. Legendary labs we're getting from Vulcanus. Legendary capture rockets we're getting from Glebber. So Glebber now has its own delivery Spidertron because this is in a separate logistics network, so that these don't rinse Glebber dry of processing units. Because if this was in the same logistics network as the whole entire base, then the processing units that get requested from the rocket part delivery ship would just go to that instead, which is what we don't want. That is the one thing we didn't want to happen. So let's get some legendary labs and some regular labs, and maybe try and turn this bad boy on, shall we? It's gone! The sushi belt is gone! Rip sushi belt! No! You did so well! But I needed the labs. I needed the labs. Because we are still making legendary ones, but I also need... like, all of my uranium is going into... Actually, it's slowed down quite a lot. I've turned this off actually, that's why, because I wanted the regular uranium for... Because I will probably make some legendary labs, some regular labs. Because... Ta-da! Here we go! So this is... 14 regular ones, 5 legendary ones, which between them can process a mere 2,000 of what we're bringing in. Yeah, it's working really well. About 20,000 effective science per minute, and that's not due to lack of science packs, that's due to actual lack of infrastructure to process the science packs. So this is a regular one, 141 research speed, and this is a legendary one, 352, plus 7,000%. And then you can also see here how slowly the legendary ones are going down. So the mega base is on. The mega base lives. Of course, it's not really up to scratch yet because it's processing like a fraction of what we need. But mining productivity is ticking over very, very quickly. We can also do similar levels of steel plate productivity if we so choose, because that also only needs the first 4 science packs. We could think about military science packs somewhere as well with what we've got. That should be okay. It might even be that we do the same thing on Vulcanus here and we make legendary military science and ship it. The only issue with that, of course, is we would need somehow even more legendary steel for the piercing rounds and legendary stone for the walls. The only reason we did legendary purple science on Vulcanus is just the sheer amount of rails you would need. It was just untenable, really, to do that on Nalvis. It was absurd. If you remember the last episode, the throughput was just ridiculous. It seemed borderline impossible. And space science, but space science we can solve. We can actually bring space science in now. We do need to fix this space platform. Like, we are making legendary space science, but like not very well. We'll turn this into a wide boy as well, and we'll redo this design because we know that works. We know the wide boy design works very well, and we'll redo this design. We don't need to redo it by much, right? We only need 1/6 of 10,000 a minute. So it won't need to be that much bigger, and we've clearly got the asteroid throughput here for it, so it shouldn't be too laborious to do that. But we can do the same thing that we're doing here, right? With the with this science, we can just get rid of this and do this, and then parameterize the blueprint requirement to be legendary space science instead, and put that there with a train, and there we go. I did think about maybe trying to like use elevated rails for just the science, to like give the science trains like their own highway so they weren't on their main system, but the benefit with this city block system is that the railway is so unlikely to ever get congested, because when a train does its pathfinding, it will just avoid other trains. If it can, you know? So I might do it. I might do it if it does cause a problem. Like, I might do something special and smart, like turn the... It's a shame you can't put a station on an elevated rail, which I know would be very difficult, but like I might do like the output of this train to go on an elevated rail that goes on a highway across the whole base, because I think that would look very cool as well. You know, sort of like just a dedicated elevated rail section for the science trains. I think that would look really, really neat. But because I just wanted to turn this on and test it, I didn't spend the time with it But I might change it. And as you can see, I've just made this a double wide thing. Just gotten rid of the concrete. So yeah, so that's cool. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. So what I really want to do is, well, I want more labs for a start, and I want more legendary labs to fully test the throughput of all of this, because there's obviously going to be something somewhere that I've forgotten or missed, or some aspect of the throughput is not going to keep up. It's working for now, but you know, we've got like so much of a backlog of everything. The stations have legendary chests that are completely full. It's not working full tilt at all, and we need it to work full tilt to do the full testing of it. So we're going to need to add a whole bunch more labs, and we're going to need to get the other science packs into the system, which should be fine, because we don't want to just be researching mining productivity and steel plate productivity for the next 100 hours while we sort out all of the other sciences. It's not going to take 100 hours, but it might. Knowing me, it might. Especially research productivity though, right? That's the one, because we're sort of... We could just turn these ships off, to be fair. The asteroid farming ships, we could just turn them off, and they do need a change. They're far, far, far too small. This was a lot better, this change we made. Testing has gone a lot better. He says, confidently. So yeah, it's taken... Is it? Has it gone better? Why does it not look that much better? I guess because it doesn't take very long at all to process the science packs once they arrive. Once the Prometheum chunks arrive, the ship isn't actually waiting here that long, because this can do 2,500 a minute for 2,130 Prometheum asteroid chunks, and we come back with about 7,000, so this does not actually work for that long. So we know that this works, so I'm tempted really to just, like... Actually, I don't know what I want to do. A part of me thought that I would just cut this bit and extend it up here, and then have loads of belts to hold the asteroid chunks. But I may just redesign the whole thing, because the problem with that is, I mean, we do want the ammo to go all the way around the edge. We do want missiles protecting all parts of it, because, you know, when you go to the Shad planet, it's pretty dangerous out there. So I might just go super ham and just build a really big ship. You know, build an outline properly. Focus on an actual, you know, tileable defense wall, rather than doing what I usually do, where I build this I build the outline first and then realise, oh wait, I need to try and fit some turrets in, don't I? I'm an idiot. So yeah, so that's on the to-do list. And Aquilo is also on the to-do list. Now that all of the science packs are producing very quickly, except for Aquilo Science, because we've not been back to Aquilo. Look at this. Oh, what's this? Legendary Prod 2s. Oh, non-legendary beacons with common speed modules in. Pah! What am I, a peasant? What am I, a mere proletariat? I think not. Sorry, I don't know why I did that bit. Don't know why I committed to that bit. Yeah. But we'll leave that for next episode, because I'm not going to Aquilo now. Mining productivity 65 has done. Let's have a look at the chart, shall we? What is the effective science per minute? Good God. Wowzers. 19,000 effective science per minute, but only using, yeah, not even using like a fifth of the science that we're making. So if I get a whole bunch of extra labs down, tidy this up a bit just so that both lanes of this can come through. Yeah. This should be good. This should be good. But yeah, I know it's a bit of a short one today. Let me just quickly check that there's not another save file. I'm pretty sure there isn't. Yeah, no, turning the labs on was the last one. I have been to Aquilo, but I'm not going to cover that in this episode. We'll start on Aquilo next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment. And if you want to see more broadcasts from Space Age, be sure to subscribe. Make sure to check the link in the description for the blueprint book, which again does not have that much in it in the last few episodes, but anything that I want to keep for my own future playthroughs is going to go in there. Lots to do still. Lots to do, somehow. Still lots to do. We're on almost 200 hours of playthrough. Again, I'm very slow. Should turn all the science off, really, on Nalvis now. Should definitely turn all that off. Lots to do, lots to do, lots to do. It's amazing. I think... It's a quick sidebar here. I do think this is one of the benefits, one of the really high benefits of... High benefits? What does that mean? One of the large benefits of Space Age is that it's much easier to just continue a playthrough. I felt very little desire to, oh, I'll start again and I'll do things differently this time. In Space Age, it's just like, no, I can just tear it down and start a new base. In Vanilla, because Vanilla was a lot narrower in that regard, just the one surface, you know, it felt like, I'm just going to, this is unsalvageable, I'm just going to start again. And I'll do it properly this time, I'll build it properly this time. So I can see me playing this save file for like 500 hours, I think, quite easily. Especially because I like to just stand around and do nothing. And maybe sometimes, you've seen I've gone to clear some more biters just to tested the railguns. Railgun ammo. His railgun ammo is very cheap, to be fair. For the amount of damage it does, it's exceedingly cheap. Because it needs to be built in space, right? So it is actually quite cheap to make. Should have a bit of fun. Bonus content. If you've stuck around for the video, welcome to today's bonus content. Whoa! Ah! Interestingly, that just destroys the captive biter aspect of it, but not the actual nest itself. It just destroys the thing on the top. Yeah, don't do this. It's really annoying that it doesn't go all the way. You know, I'd like for it to go a bit further than that, really. That was fun. Alright, okay. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.